The thermomechanical behavior of human fatigue, a breakthrough in science. In Search of the Human Fatigue discovered the connection between the gravity and the entropy. It is a journey through science that unveils unexplored fundamental principles like the unification of the mechanical and thermic energies, and as a corollary the equivalence between the gravitatory potential energy and the entropy, as consequence of a mathematical procedure.
Hi fellows, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Alejandro Cibaja. I am graduated from the Superior School of Mechanical and Electrical Engineering and former member of the New York Academy of Science and of the American Association for the Advancement of Science. Welcome to what I call my virtual laboratory. Here I have spent more than 27 years working on research and development. I have used as a main tool the mathematics. Now I want to share with you a work, scientific work, that is has a title of the thermomechanical behavior of the human fatigue. This is what I consider a breakthrough in science. So it starts from a personal concern relative to my health. The doctor in charge of my health recommended me to do some exercises like jogging, calisthenics, and a moderated lift of weight. So a routine consisted in 60 repetitions of a bar with weights in both ends, lifting over my chest few centimeters. What happened is that as mechanical engineer, once I have practiced for a few days, I did notice that when I finish the first half, that is the first 30 repetitions, my body conditions were quite normal. The biometrics of my body was almost the same. But when I finished the second half, that is the remnant 30 repetitions, I was fully exhausted at level of fatigue. This called my attention, and although it is well known that from a clinical point of view there is no mystery, we all know that the cause of the fatigue is the lactic acid produced by the muscles when it's exercise. So I take as a challenge to investigate the physical, mechanical reason for such different conditions once each half has been finished. So what I first did was to develop an equation representing the routine of 60 cycles, 60 repetitions. Then I formulate an equation that represents a cycle or a process, and is y equals s multiplied by a factor that is L minus S. L stands for the limit, or the total number of repetitions, in this case 60. And S stands for the step, the actual or present step. Also, I developed a concept called variant, which is the relative percentage of change among two successive steps. And the inverse of each step is 1 divided by S, and this is the variant. When I apply the variant both to L and S, I obtain the equation mentioned above. Due to the similarity of the parabola produced by the cycle or a process with a parabola generated when a projectile is launched to the space, I was able to analyze such parabola within a framework of energy, including kinetic, gravitational potential, and synergic energies. Once I get the equation of the cycle, extrapolating ideas, it was possible to get also the equation of the synergy, which is also parabola. And I was able to analyze such parabola as well. This parabola gave the impression of enclosing energy that I was tempted to open, to liberate. Then doing a juxtaposition of logic, analytic, and mathematical intuition, it occurs to me to integrate the equation of synergy in order to know how was developed the area step by step. Here, the remarkable thing was that the result was a curve mimic the letter S, but elongated. So once I have the two curves, the curve of the synergy and the S curve, I start doing comparisons. I was astonished because the values that I find in both areas of the both curves were identical. That drive me to the develop of the law that I call the law of transformation and distribution of energy, which unifies the total mechanical energy and the thermic energy, and also establish a direct relationship between the gravitational potential energy and the entropy. And what is more important, the entropy, it was found that represents the human fatigue, which was the purpose of all this investigation. So I reached these very important results, and further analysis of the S-curve show that the entropy, or the human fatigue, is presented in two phases for each half of the process. The first phase is equivalent to 3/8 of the total value of the entropy. And in the second half, we have the second phase that represents 5/8 of the total entropy. That will be my explanation of these important discoveries that I wanted to share with you. Thank you very much for your attention. It's a pleasure being with you.